Good evening and welcome back. We are back. The holidays have finished. Can you believe it? Thankfully, living in Italy, holidays never finish. Not at all, because we need a little bit of time to get over the holiday period. So usually we need 2 weeks before it starts and then 2 weeks after it's finished just to get over things. So, and living in a marvelous place such as Abruzzo, you always feel a little bit like you're on holiday anyway. Anyway, welcome back. It's absolutely great to see. Well, obviously can't see anybody, but I can see that the chat has started. Let us know where you are in the world. Let us know that I'm not sat here talking to myself. I know it sometimes does take a bit of a delay before people come in, but yeah, just start chatting. Let us know where you are at the moment. Tony, I don't know what's happening, but it only seems like there's two people on there. But there you go. It's a little bit of a slow start, but people are moving. People are coming in. Great to see everybody back, and we're excited to get people back into viewing some amazing properties in Italy. And I must say that I reckon that during this holiday period, I think I must have grown a little bit, because getting on the scales this morning, there's no way. I remember a doctor saying to me a long time ago that if I was 80 centimeters taller, then I would be the perfect weight as I am now. So something's seriously gone wrong. But that's life in Italy, isn't it? So if you're seeing a slightly sort of rounder face, you know, the hair's still grey, as you can see, but that's what it's for. So I'm back on diet number 4,635, I think it is. Let's see how that goes. Anyway, back to reality, back to normal, and we're kicking off tonight with everybody's favorite, which is Meet the Homebuyers. And as people may have seen our guests before, we actually, the first time they appeared, I think, was probably 6 or 8 months ago, something like that. Then they appeared on a show recently with another couple, but we had some really bad problems getting the signal from their house. So they're back. So it's Llama Laurie and her fantastic husband John. So they're back in town. They're going to tell us all about their 2 months that they've had here in Abruzzo. Are going to tell us everything that they've been getting up to, and that's going to be absolutely fantastic. So that's going to be this evening. We've also got, unfortunately, Domenico is not here tonight. He's still on holiday. Typical Italian, chooses to have his last part of his holiday when everybody else is back. But there you go. So he's not on tonight. So we haven't got Tony and Domenico's tongue twisting trials, but we will be back with that next week. We have got stunning photo of the week. So that, which is absolutely fantastic. And what else have we got? That's it. So you just got to listen to me now for an hour. We haven't actually, because we've got the fantastic Laurie John coming on in about 5 minutes. Just in case anybody's missing him, let's just bring let's just bring Tony, the producer, on. Good evening, sir.
Hey, boy. How are you?
Good, thanks. Have you finished with your holidays? Oh no, you're going away, aren't you, next week?
Yeah, I'm having a long weekend in Gargano.
So the fact that you went away in July, you've been away, you've been away again in August, and now you're going to get one in September as well. Yeah.
Hey, the more the merrier. Still holiday time.
Nice for some, isn't it? You just stay in your pension. The rest of us will just work just to pay for your privileges.
It's a celebration of becoming a state pensioner.
No. Fantastic. Oh well, okay, so no tongue twisting trials, so it'll be a difficult one next week. There you go. That's Tony the producer. Likes to come and say hello, doesn't he? Let's get rid of him as quick as possible. Look, people are writing, Doreen saying Tony, Dino, this. Why? Where's he getting this new fan base from? I've got to stop bringing him. Back on. What else have I got to tell you today? Let's do. Let me do this first. Let's just do stunning photo of the week. Let's do that first, because these have been sent in. There's actually a few photographs here. These have been sent in by Maria, and some of these places actually they are going to appear a little bit later as well. John and Laura is going to talk about these places, but these are fantastic photographs. So if I can work out now how to show them. Oh, here we go. So this is in Roccascala. They're actually in Abruzzo at the moment, and Maria sent me these photographs and saying that they have seen some breathtaking places. So this is in Roccascalegna. Then the second, I've actually given them 3 because they were very good photographs, I thought. Just trying to work out now how to show you the other ones. 1 second. It's been a while. Here we go. Here's the second one. This is the amazing castle at Roccascalegna from a different type of image, but it is it's a great shot, I think, that one. And then finally, very close to where I live, they went to Faro San Martino and walked in the gorge of San Martino, which you can just make out at the bottom. I don't know if you can see that at the bottom. That's the ruins, or it looks like that's the ruins of the old monastery that's in there as well. That's an amazing place. So Maria, thank you so much for sending us these photographs. I think everybody will agree that they are fantastic, and it just shows off once again how amazing this place is. So there you go. That's stunning photo of the week. Other things to tell you. What's Mark? Good to see you back from holiday, and it's good to see all you guys as well. Just remember as well, anybody that is looking to rent properties out here in Abruzzo, get in touch with our friends at rentinabruzzo@gmail.com. A number of properties are around the area. I've mentioned this before, and anybody that's looking actually to because he's contacted me recently with lots of people that are interested in taking properties for a year. So they can get their elective residency visas and things like that. So if you are looking for options to be able to stay somewhere for a year, so you can get your visa or apply for your visa, maybe you don't want to commit to buying somewhere just yet, get in touch with them, rentinabruzzo@gmail.com. Make sure you spell it properly, otherwise it won't get through. And I'm sure they'll fix you up with a fantastic place. Or even if you just come in over for a week or 2 weeks, whatever it is, they've got places in Palombaro, in my town, not my town, but where I live, Sulmona, Raiano, a number of places in those areas as well. So get in touch. I'm sure they will be able to help you out. Other things that I want to say, the tours start again in September. Can't wait for that. That they start at the end of September. We've got end of September, end of October, beginning of November. And what I will say is that the September tour, I've put 2 more spaces on that. So that's the one that's happening in about 3 weeks' time. So if you are interested in that, you need to get on quickly, get onto our website, www.homeinitaly.com, which you can see there at the bottom, and then click on the tour section. You will see it. You'll see that they're available 2 spots in September and 4 spots have opened up in October. Unfortunately, we've had a couple of cancellations. So there's actually 4 for the October dates as well. So if you want to get on there, make sure you go to the website, click on tours, and you'll be able to join us in September and October. For those of you who are on the September tour, emails have gone out this afternoon, so check your inboxes. If it's not come, then contact me on info@homeinitaly.com and let me know that your email's not come, because we have emailed everybody that is coming on the September tour. That's the one that's happening 2 or 3 weeks today. Troy's saying he got his welcome email, so that's fantastic. So please check your inbox just to make sure that you've received that. And then I will be contacting everybody early next week to set up the WhatsApp group. So you need to install WhatsApp on your telephone. It's free of charge. Then we create a group so we can all chat to each other on there. We'll do that early next week. People that are coming on October tour will get in touch with you at the end of September. So if you have, I know some people have sent emails asking when things are due and how things work. We will be in touch a month before. But again, if you're on the September tour, check your inboxes and make sure that the email has come through. And then later this week, Tony's just got rid of that. If you can just, thank you very much, Tony. Thank you. Later this week, then we're going to be opening the bookings for next year. So the new 2025 tour dates, this is for the early part of the year, are going to be January the 30th and 31st, March the 27th and 28th, May the 8th and 9th, and May the 29th and 30th. We've done 2. We don't usually do February. I don't know why I choose February as not doing it. I still can't work that out myself, but that's just what I've been doing. We're doing 2 in May because of the way Easter falls this year. It falls a little bit awkward to do one in April, so we're doing one at the beginning of May, one at the end of May. So they're going to be available for you to book at the end of this week. I will email everybody and let you know. So I will send emails out. and just keep an eye on the website. After hopefully it should be done by Friday, Saturday at the latest. I always say things like this, don't I? And then it never happens, but it will be available for you to buy. So just keep an eye out for those, and then come and join us on these fantastic tours. It's a great way of seeing the area, and it's a great way of seeing properties as well. And very often on these tours, you see brand new properties that we've not had time to do videos or things like that. So I know lots of people just think that we do the videos and that's it. That is not the case. We literally can't video more than what we do. So if you come on these tours, it's a great way to see lots of new properties as well as seeing the area as well. So it's fantastic. It's just a great thing to do as well. I'm sure all past tourers will agree that they are. We have some good fun. So even though it's the last Thursday and Friday as the dates that I've put there, we always meet on the Wednesday evening for an aperitivo, and then Thursday and Friday are full days looking at towns and properties. We tend to see anything up to 20 properties in the 2 days, and about 12 different areas as well, 12 different towns and that kind of thing. So it is a great way to do it. Dino, Dave, would your tour benefit those getting close to the buying process, but a few years away? Definitely, Dino. I think that's what these things were for, because I know that there's some people that are ready now, and everybody, is thinking that I think the video channel tends to create this buzz that it's all got to be now. You've got to get in there now and buy something now, otherwise you're not going to find anything. That's not what it's about. The video channel is obviously there for people that's ready to buy straight away. It's a great tool if you can't come out and you're just desperate to buy something. Look, hair looks nice and rested. It is a bit flat, isn't it? That's why I keep putting my hands through it. I'm going to ban Lewis from coming on, definitely. Anyway, yeah, the tours are designed exactly for people like you. Come out, even if you're 2 years off, 3 years off, 5 years off. Come out, have a look at the area. You get to see lots of different types of properties to suit all budgets. And for me, it's the best way that you can be prepared for the future, because you can think to yourself after a trip, could I live there? Is it the kind of place where I want to be? What kind of property do I really want? Because lots of people, when they come out, they see certain types of properties and they think, actually, I could live in this kind I could live in a town rather than being detached. I always thought I wanted to be attached, or vice versa. So it's a great way. And also it helps narrow areas down as well, because once you've been here and you get used to the place, you just think, yeah, I can do this. Let's do it. Makes it all a little bit more real. So definitely, even if you're years off, then come and join the tours. It's all part of it. I'm sure you will really, really enjoy it. Okay, so that's enough of me rattling away. Time to bring on our guests. It's time for Meet the Homebuyers. So let's bring Laurie and John on now. Good evening.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Very Italian sounding, very Italian. How's your Italian coming along, by the way?
Better than last summer, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I have a little bit of catching up to do,
but who's the best?
Oh, I practice a lot more.
Every day.
Yeah, every day. I'm on Duolingo every day. I have 2 notebooks now full of phrases and words, but there's nothing like being there for the real practice.
No, I know. Are you saying, Laura, that you talk a bit more than John? Is that what you're trying to say?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
A little bit more.
So for people that don't know, I know you've been on before. We've shown everybody your house before and the rest of it. Tell us a little bit about yourself and why the love affair with Italy, and then why Abruzzo. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we were looking for a retirement property a couple of years ago. We started the process knowing that in 3 to 5 years we wanted to do something, and some of our initial ideas just didn't work out, Florida and such. But so we started this adventure going online and watching a variety of different YouTube channels. And then we stumbled across yours, which really captivated us because you had the right kind of mix of properties, and Abruzzo was just so fabulous looking that that's kind of where we focused our attention. And
So you'd never been to Abruzzo before?
No, never. But we enjoyed your channel. The main thing that really drew us in was you just didn't show a property. You introduced people to the area, Abruzzo as a whole, and then the village. And you walked around and you showed what the village was like. And it gives you a sense of placement there, and it really kind of gave you that impression of what life would be like if you had a home in that village. That's what really drew us in, was knowing that we could live in a place like this. This place is awesome. Look at, you got this view over here. You've got these great streets and these beautiful buildings, you could see yourself living there. It wasn't just a house; it was a community.
And you got all of this then you got that sense just from the photographs, from the videos and that kind of thing. You really felt that, because you were one of the many now that do it, that bought remotely. You bought sight unseen. You bought from a video. You contacted us. You were the first to contact. Everything went through. I mean, the process. Obviously, you left it in our hands. Were you happy? Were you nervous? How did you feel about all of that side of things?
No, actually, we weren't nervous at all. Working with you and Silvana, you guys, great personalities, and very accommodating. We felt like we were just, part of the team, and it wasn't like us and them or us and you. It was, we felt like we were together as a team, and I had a great. I'm sure Laurie feels the same way too. We had a high level of confidence that things were being done properly, and you would tell us what to do. We just did what you told us to do, and everything went just according to plan. It worked out great. So
when you were being asked to send money here and send money there and pay this and do this, you just thought, let's just roll with it then.
Yeah, absolutely. You turned us on to Dave Nixon there at Currencies Direct. He was really great to work with. No problems there at all. You told us which agencies we needed to go to get this form done. We just did that and sent the stuff in and just went A through Z, and it all went very, very smoothly.
So to bring people, to end the first part of the story, then, if you like, when you first came out to see the house that you'd not seen, obviously I met you to give you the keys. What were your thoughts when you landed in Rome and you sort of driving through the countryside in places where you'd never been before? You just what was happening? What was going off in your mind from Rome Fiumicino to di Pelligna?
Well, it's culture shock. The airport was very overwhelming. The drive on the autostrada was nerve-wracking. This year it was much smoother. Because we kind of know what we're doing now. But just going from the city of Rome and the surrounding of Rome, and the further out you went, there's just all these beautiful villages tucked in the mountainside, and they're leveled and tiered. And, it's like, oh, I want to go there, and I want to go there, and I want to go there. And then you get off the autostrada at Sulmona, and as you move closer and closer to our village, Lama dei Pellegrini, the mountains just become very overwhelming, and you feel so small and insignificant, but it literally takes your breath away. You have to pinch yourself. Am I really here? Am I really awake? Is this really happening? Because it's spectacular. You just don't know until you're there. And, last year we were only there for 2 weeks, and it was more like a little vacation trip. But this year was, 54 days, 2 months. It was like, this is it. This is home. I mean, it felt like home last year, but now this year it was there's so much to do. There's so much to see, the people. But what I do like is whatever you show, that's exactly what you get. And we still watch your videos every week because we love seeing all these villages that are around us. And it's just so what you show your audience is exactly what the audience is going to get. Yeah. And it's fantastic.
That's good to hear. So what did you think of the house then when you because obviously you bought a townhouse with an amazing roof terrace. What did you think when you first walked in, you first started going through the house? What were your thoughts?
Well, I just kept thinking, I was like, I can't believe this is ours. I can't believe we own this, and that this is a lifestyle we're going to have in the future. And it was really neat. I mean, the previous owners literally left everything there. Furniture, forks, spoons, glass, everything. It was like, all we did was walk in with our suitcases, and, the interior is so nice. And we love it. We absolutely love it.
It was pretty much ready to go. And I'm always a little bit skeptical of things because when you look at photos and videos of something, like, at least in my mind, I always know going in, it's not going to be as nice as the pictures or the videos. They never are. You can't see everything. And but in actual fact, walking through it, it was better than I anticipated it to be. The things were in better light, because oftentimes you forget your torch. But and there's never any electric on half the time in a lot of places, so you have to kind of just go by what the camera sets its sensor to kind of get a feel for things. And it was great. I was much more impressed with the house when we were walking through it than I was even in the video, which was a pretty high expectation. It looked great in the video as well.
So in terms of then, obviously, I mean, I know you settled in pretty quick. I mean, you did a video with us, I think, after you got back from your first trip, if I remember rightly. Yeah. And you'd met so many people in such a short time, and sort of all of a sudden just getting out there and talking to people. You didn't know I know you're still learning now, but you knew much less then, didn't you? But how did you find it sort of interacting with people? Because English is not really spoken very much in the area. So how did you find that? Were you nervous at first, or how was that?
Always a little bit apprehensive, but it really wasn't bad at all. As long as you make an attempt to communicate and show that you're interested, the local folks are always very, very accommodating. They work with you. They know that you're, like, for me anyway, they know I'm an idiot. I don't know anything. But as long as you show an interest and you make an attempt to communicate, they really do help you out and work with you.
So,
and I think with technology helps, because everybody has translators.
Yep.
As long as you're near an internet, you can use your translator. But last year I was really very nervous going into the supermercado for the first time, because I wanted to order things from the deli, and I didn't know how to do any of that, except I knew pane and panini and mozzarella and prosciutto. But
it's a good thing she does all the groceries.
I didn't know how to ask how to do something. So now I know, vorrei, I would like, and mi chiamo Laurie, or sono Laurie, and then they tell me their name, and and then I said piacere, nice to meet you, and so little phrases, but they the people really appreciate it, and a lot of the young people have English because they from school, but even the older folks, they try to communicate with you, and it's nice. It's really it's very heartfelt and warming, and you feel like you're part of the community.
Yeah, well, it's really a lot of fun when you have to communicate with contractors, people that come into your home to do some work, because none of them speak any English, and that's a real challenge, because you want something done and you have to try to explain it to them, and then they have to try to communicate back to you as to what they can or can't do and how they want to do it. And oftentimes they tell you how they're going to do it. And they look at you like, okay, well, that's what you want and that's what you're asking for, but this is how it's going to be. This is how we do it. But they're really, really pleasant about it, and they do it their way, and it's always great. It's a lot of times much better than what I had suggested.
Yeah. I mean, I know in the beginning you had a problem with your boiler. If I remember rightly, we contacted a plumber and he came out. And I don't think he wanted to charge you, did he, for the first call out or something? He didn't.
He came out. He didn't charge us at all, and then he was going to come back, but I figured out how to solve the problem myself, so we didn't need him to come back. So I think it was your suggestion. To put some money in the gas box, which we did do, and then a couple of days later it was gone, and he had come and collected it.
Right.
But it was just a very different way of doing business. I
remember him saying, because I mean, we didn't know the guy. I mean, obviously plumbers that we know, they'll do us favors and things like that, but we'd no idea who this guy was. We'd never met him. He'd never met you. But for somebody to come out and do some work and sort of say, no, it doesn't, it's not going to cost you anything. It's mind blowing, even for me as well, coming from the UK. I mean, why would anybody do that? It's beyond me. But that shows the kind of people, and especially when you're new in a village, and I think lots of people think that everybody is out to rip the foreigner off, and I don't find that at all. I've been to some parts of Italy but I mean, that I think comes with tourism more than anything. That you go, I think you go to a tourist town, you expect to spend money and get not much from it. But I think lots of people do think that Italians in general are like that, whereas I find it the opposite. They seem to want to help more than do anything else. So obviously, you love the house, all the rest of it. You had a great time. You've been here now for nearly 2 months. You're out this time. Your Facebook page, I was tired looking at it, to be honest with you. You seem to do a lot. I'm going to show some photographs shortly, and we'll talk through some of the things that you've been doing. And then we'll talk about your connections, Laurie, at the end, because that was it was a brilliant story in the beginning. I think we were both nearly crying on the first live stream that we did, but we'll do that at the end. But one thing that lots of people ask, and one thing that you see all the time on video channels, and I try as much as possible to explain how it is here. There's still so many people that think these places are cheap because they're in the middle of nowhere. Nobody lives there. They're dying off, and so on and so on and so on. These tend to be troll type people that just like to write something that. But I do think lots of people may have that still in the back of the mind, that some of these small villages. So I mean, the Lama di Peligna, I think, is maybe similar to Palma, about 1,000 or 1,100 to. I'm not sure the population. Yeah. It's certainly not a lot. What would you say to people like that are thinking, I'm seeing these properties, but I'm worried that there's going to be nothing there and they're going to be abandoned? How would you explain it to people?
I think what it is when people watch videos, they don't see a lot of people out and about. Well, in these villages, people are all working in their shops, and it's all family oriented. And so, they're working every single day. And then, of course, from 1 to 4, everything does close. And we would use that time to travel to different villages because we knew everything is closed from basically 1 to 4. But I'll tell you what, when the sun starts to go down 6 o'clock-ish till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, yeah, these places come alive.
And it's not even festive season yet. And everybody is out and they're sitting on the benches and talking to each other. And, the restaurants are full. The patios and the bar, people are sitting out having drinks together. So, usually by about 6, 7 o'clock, boy, everything comes to life. And they go until, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So
the folks over there are definitely night owls, compared to how they are over here. Restaurants oftentimes don't even reopen again until 8 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
And we're ready to, we're going to go home and get ready for bed. And our neighbors are all getting their kids out and they're all going downtown, and it's 8:30 or 9 o'clock at night, and they're just getting their evening started. They haven't eaten yet and they're going out for dinner. And some entertainment, and we're ready to turn in. So over that 2-month period, we did kind of shift our schedule quite a bit, and learned more to do things in the evening when it's more active.
But the other thing that's really nice is, even when it's not Festa, there's always activities going on. We had a community play. They were doing a version of Mamma Mia, and they're at the community center performing. Or there's activities for the kids. They bring in, a water slide and set it up in the middle of the piazza. Jazz concerts. I mean, there's something going on every week. There's always, and that's at all the villages. It wasn't just ours. We would see the posters and the signage for all these activities taking place. And it's really nice. There's such a variety of things for people to enjoy.
And the local talent that they have in these villages is outstanding.
Artists.
I mean, you to see that quality of work and performance. I mean, you have to go to big cities around here or go see national acts. These guys are just the people that live in the village. They get together, they have a band set up at the community center, and it's like, they sound really good. I mean, it's top notch. It's like, these are just the guys that live here.
And everybody comes out and they're all dancing and singing. I mean, I did a lot of videos of that because I was just like, wow, we don't see this at all.
Yeah. I saw you doing quite a few lives and things as well. Yeah. I could tell the kind of excitement that you had. I mean, it's like when we first came here, I know you were doing some videos around the Festa times as well. And that kind of excitement, it is quite overwhelming, isn't it? Because you do suddenly think, where else in the world does this happen? Because I know it never happened sort of to me in the UK as well. We go to pubs and things like that, but you would never suddenly see a town turn into a Festa night and everybody sort of getting on with each other. Those kind of times have gone.
That impressed me so much, especially this time around, was that these guys know how to live. I mean, it's like, it's all about humanity. It's like, we've been doing it wrong all these years, and you see that there in the people. I mean, they're genuinely happy and really have fun with life. It's very different.
And I think the thing is as well, I mean, I know obviously you come at summertime, there is a different buzz at summertime. As October comes in, obviously Christmas has its own time and Easter has its own time. But even the town, even the sort of January, February, when it's cold and sort of, people Italians, once it goes below 20 degrees Celsius, which I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but it's quite a lot, they sort of tend to stay inside. If there's a little bit of rain, that's it, everybody will go inside. But again, the atmosphere is still amazing at that time as well. They are the times where people may say, where is everybody? But everybody's still there, but they're just hibernating. They're just doing the things. They do things at the right time. As you say, the weekends, the restaurants are open, all the rest of it. So the fact that you bought in Lama, that is sort of 1,000 people and all the rest of it, you don't have any regrets that you've thought that you've bought in a place that's on the decline or anything like that. You don't get the feeling of that at all.
No, not at all.
I just wonder if sometimes when people see these towns, maybe it's because Italy still has a huge amount of old buildings, obviously, which is great. I just wonder if people just look at that and think that it's crumbling away without really understanding how it works. I wonder if because it's just hard to get across to people unless you've been over here like you two have. It's hard to get across that there is life in these places and there's good life as well in these places.
Yeah, I think it's a lot about balance as well. You don't, at least for us, we didn't want to move into a place that was big and bustling and commercial or any of that. We were kind of looking for a smaller, more intimate village type of an atmosphere, and certainly Lama, as well as a lot of the other villages like Palambaro and Ferro San Martino, and any of those, they have that same kind of feeling. It's a lot of the younger folks that going to school looking for opportunities may move away. A still many of them stay, but there is that transition. I mean, we have that same kind of thing even here in our village in the United States. Young folks leave this village because what's there to do if you go away to the university? You're not going to go back to Leroy. You're just not. But eventually other folks move in, and it's just a balance. Some of the young folks move out, but then others move back in.
Yeah.
And Lama is really not any different in that respect. There's still jobs to be had there. There's still a lot of activity going on. It may have declined since the 50s, but not to the extent that it's a ghost town or that it's dying or dead. It's just a different kind of an atmosphere, and there are still quite a bit of young folks there. It's a good balance. It really is.
And that's the atmosphere that people crave for. That's the atmosphere that people from outside crave for, and even the young ones now. I've noticed, especially since COVID as well, that they are starting to see the benefits of being in these places, because they maybe go to Pescara, which here people don't like to commute. There's lots of work with it. When you go down the Val di Sangro, where you've gone that way to go to the beach, there's Honda there, there's Fiat there. There are huge businesses there. There's maybe a half-hour commute from Lama. Italians don't like to commute, and I think once that gets out of the way, they realize then that they can live in these amazing towns and villages in peace. They can let the kids run around, do whatever they want to do, and then they can go to work. Just got to learn to travel half an hour. And I think hopefully it is starting to change that. I think lots of people are seeing, and especially August time, when you see lots of people coming back to their places of birth and going back to see Nonno and Nonna, or their Zia, their auntie and uncle, then all of a sudden they think this is great, and they end up spending the whole of August in Nonna's house because they want to be there. So I think it's a great thing. The other nice thing, which will bring us now onto some of the photographs I'm going to show you, is again, it's not that. And we tend to choose we as a business tend to choose towns where there's lots of other things to do around and about, whether it's 10 or 15 minutes away or whether it's half an hour away. So I'm going to show some of your photographs that you sent, and obviously you can tell us where you are and just give people an idea of the kind of things that you've been doing for this couple of months. So we'll start with this one, which I believe this one's in Pacentro, is it?
Pacentro, yes. We went there a couple of days. We really enjoyed it. And we loved touring the castle. I think it was €2 to go through the castle, and just looking out over the valley. But we like walking around, capturing the feel of the village, taking the pictures of the architecture. I loved taking photographs of the people that I encountered, and I enjoyed that a lot. But it's Sulmona. I really like Sulmona. We went there quite a few times, especially for Mercato on either Wednesday or Saturday. But it was a little too big for me. It was a little bit large. I still like that small village feel. But Sulmona was great. There's a lot of English speakers there, a lot of activities. The market is fantastic. I love their market there. When we went, we always went for market day, and we enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, Pacentro's not very far from there.
Yeah, Pacentro is just 7 kilometers away.
Yeah, it's a very different feel.
And that's the great thing, that again, you can live in the smaller villages and visit the bigger towns if you want. I think that's the beauty of it, isn't it? It's not that you're in the car for hours and hours to get anywhere. You're a bit of a photographer then, John. I don't know what's happened to my resolution on these photographs, because it's certainly not doing your photographs justice. But so you've been doing quite a lot around the area, because I've seen this photograph and I love this next one.
Yeah. I think that was in Altino. I think we were in Altino for that one.
Yeah, that was in Altino. I love those older buildings, and so many of them haven't been restored yet, and they have such great character to them. You have to go inside, like this one in particular. You have to investigate what these doorways, where they lead to, and what's inside. And so we did that quite a bit, walking through these areas.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
There's a little bit of a pause for this shot, I think.
Yeah, I just, I was enjoying. When I'm in Italy, I am enjoying life, and I was like, it's fun. This was in Altino also, but just you walk down a little alleyway and it just.
Yeah, you see these big, like a stone grinding wheel, like that.
Cool. Rosticini.
Explain to people. I think this was on one of your lives I saw where obviously this is the traditional the traditional dish of Abruzzo, one of the many, and also pizza fritta that you've got there at the side, which is basically pizza dough that's been deep fried. This was all in your town, wasn't it? Or this was part of one of the festivals?
Yeah,
was it?
Anytime there's a weekend activity, and this is something else people have to understand. When you go to a festival here in the States, you go right up to a vendor and you pay cash. In Italy, you buy tickets and you take the tickets up to the vendors and purchase what you want, which is really nice. I like doing that. But a rosticini are these fine little delicate pieces of lamb, and there's some little bit of fat in it, and they put some salt on it. But our village, they saw us. I was taking pictures, and one of our villagers, Dino, he said, "Come back, come back." And so they let me come back, and they were taking us through the process, showing how it was all done and how they roast 240 of these at a time. Right. And so I went live with that, and I was showing pictures of that.
Yeah, every 7 minutes they crank out like 240 or 270 arrosticini skewers.
And they're $1. They're €1 a piece. And it was funny because last year when we went for the very first time, I only ordered 6 of them, and they laughed at me. So now I know why they laugh. Now when John and I go, we go anywhere from 20 to 30.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you've got to. It's funny you should say that, actually, because Lexi and Craig, who live in Civitelli, I think you've met Lexi and Craig, they were the first Meet the Homebuyers on the channel, and they went to a place with the rosticini, and I think that's what they ordered, something like 2 or 3 or 4. I said that just gets stuck in your teeth. You're not even getting started. You've got to have at least 20 or 30 each.
Yeah.
It's they're so good. You can't eat enough of them.
And the fried dough is also prepared different, because here in the States they put sugar on it or cinnamon.
Yeah.
And in Italy they put just a little bit of salt, and it's excellent. It's really good. Isn't it?
Excellent. This confused me. Why you sent this photograph?
Okay.
Explain this one first.
Well, it's because you don't regularly grocery shop in the United States.
No.
When I go to a grocery store here in the States, the cereal aisle is 2 sides of an aisle and about 4 times this size, top to bottom. And it really impresses me in Italy that you don't have your Cocoa Puffs, your Captain Crunch, your sugary. It's very healthy lifestyle. And if you look at this picture, the bottom 3 rows that's it for cereal, and that's it for the size of the boxes.
Yeah.
Here we have Mega and Family and all filled with sugar, and those top 3 rows are like protein bars and protein and granola. And this is it. And this was in a large grocery store where I took this picture. It wasn't even in our village store. And it's funny because before we left for Lama for the summer, I had my 6-month checkup with my doctor, and my blood levels were elevated in a number of categories. And so she goes, "I want to check you when you get back." So 2 days after we got back, I went and had my blood work done. Every single one of my levels all dropped. My numbers were off.
Dropped.
I mean, she was really impressed, but it's that healthy, no preservatives, fresh lifestyle that you don't get here. I mean,
the best thing is, though, as well, is you actually drink alcohol as well while you're here.
Yes.
Oh yeah. We live on spritzes,
we're spritz people. But you're also walking a lot. You're hiking a lot. There's biking, but it's that fresh food on a day. I mean, we had pasta, we ate pizza, but it was all made from scratch, and it's all fresh, and that's a huge difference. And, when you go to the store and you pick up milk, there's only one size, 1 liter. That's it. You don't, like here, you can get a gallon. I mean, it's huge. Yeah. It's just that overconsumption in the United States that we did not see in Italy.
That's and I think, obviously the diet, and the Italian diet, the Mediterranean diet is a huge thing. Lots of olive oil and things like that. So it's absolutely fantastic. So moving on, obviously we saw a photograph of this This castle's Rocca Scalena, which again is close by. I mean, this place. What did you think of this town?
Oh, this place was seriously cool. We wanted to go back again, but we ran out of time. But I could spend a whole day just walking around and taking pictures of this place. It was amazing.
And if you decide to go, you really need time, because you park down at the lower part of the village and you walk through the village itself. And I'm always taking pictures and looking at things. It probably took us about 3 hours to do this whole thing, to go through all of it. And then we went down the path and walked around the grounds there's a lot of walking, there's a lot of climbing, there's a lot of stairs, and they're not real stable. So, you gotta get used to that, which is, But
it's an amazing castle, though, isn't it? And then you came to my neck of the woods. In fact, John, I think you're just about lined up, probably taking a picture of my house there. That's about the right direction. So this is obviously Balzolo in Penapiedimonte. Was this your first trip here?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and we we didn't know how long the trail was, and it's paved for a portion of the way. You go through the tunnel, and then it's paved for a little bit, and then it's very rocky, and I think it goes for over 6 kilometers. And this was about 10 o'clock in the morning. It was close to 90 degrees, no humidity, and we didn't have any water with us.
Yeah, we left it in the car, and we thought we were only going to be gone for 10 or 15 minutes, and well, it just turned out to be a much longer hike.
Yeah, it was about 2 hours.
Did you stop off at the bar though at the start of the walk?
Oh, absolutely.
You got to stop there.
Yeah, and then this again, when you look at these photographs, people may be thinking, this region is just mountains and everything else, but as you can see on the photograph, the mountains are quite sort of what's the word? They're quite dramatic, and then you're into rolling countryside, aren't you? So it's not as if it takes you hours to get to these places. I mean, here, Balzolo, to get from here to the beach at Francavilla, you want half an hour, you're there. And so it is so easy to get around, isn't it? Then from Penapiedimonte, you came to my town, Palombaro. Took one of the Christmas trees that they keep up all year round. These are the knitted. I know you made a comment about these knitted patterns and things, didn't you, Laura, that you see all around the town
they're
now?
Beautiful. They're hanging in the doorways. They're different, vibrant colors. They're probably maybe 14 inches round in diameter. Not the tree, but they're strung around in different parts of the village. Beautiful colors. And, it's so nice that the people in the community put forth this to, really bring a lot of beauty to the village, in addition to the cleanliness and the hospitality. Yeah. But it's, and each village is unique like that, which is really nice.
Yeah. Obviously, this is back in Pacentro now. And one of my the great photograph, this one. Was this lady in Pacentro?
This was in Scano.
Yeah. Okay. Scano, great place.
Yeah. And she was kind of watching us shopping and smiling and waving. And the storefront just behind me is the butcher, which I can't pronounce it in Italian. Masticeria.
Macelleria.
She worked in there, and she was just coming out. And this was about 7 o'clock in the evening, when the people would come out and sit on the stoops. And I just went over to her and was chatting with her briefly. And I asked her, fotografie? She said, si. So I love taking pictures of the people. I love the people themselves. Oh.
Absolutely love this picture.
Yeah, this was fun. This was in Pacentro. We took the zip line across the valley. I'll tell you what, it's worth, folks, you've got to go to Pacentro and do the zip line. It was amazing. It was so much fun. Yeah. And you're going across the valley, and you have the castle and the village behind you, and the wind just blowing through your hair. Well, through your hairnet.
We're going to have to try and get Pacentro Pete on this, definitely.
Yeah. He would love this. If he hasn't already done it, he's probably done this 3 or 4 times by now.
Oh, it was so much fun. I can't wait to do this again.
Oh, the van ride to the top of the zip line was really entertaining too. The driver was so much fun.
Right. Well, we went there last year. I said I would maybe do it. When I got there and I saw the height, I was like, no way. My kids.
Oh, you didn't do it? You didn't do it then?
No, I didn't. No. I'm not great with heights. If it was about 5 foot off the floor, then that'd be all right.
Oh, no. It's a lot higher.
Oh, yeah.
Certainly is.
You're really strapped in there good, so you don't have to worry.
And this young lady?
That's our daughter, Trinity.
Oh,
Yeah,
she came over as well. Yeah.
She came over for about 5 days. She surprised us and came over, and this was in Picentro. And it was interesting because one of the very first things she said when she got to our house, she goes, "There are no fat people in Italy." And she said, "There's no obesity like there is in the United States." And I was like, wow, yeah, that's.
She noticed that when she went. So and then what did she think of the area and everything? Obviously, coming over as I know you guys are not old, but coming over as a younger person, how did she feel?
She's 24 years old, and we thought, it won't be entertaining enough.
Yeah.
She was up and ready to go to those villages, and she went in all the castles, and she constantly had her phone out taking pictures and putting them up on Instagram and Twitter. And I was a little leery because we love the village life, where she loves New York City and the club life.
So we figured she would be all in for Rome and not be impressed at all with our village or going to some of the smaller villages. And actually the absolute opposite occurred. She said, you know what? She goes, I really like the smaller villages much more so than like Rome. She goes, there's so much more to see. She goes, you can see more in the smaller villages because there aren't as many people.
Yeah.
Tourist-wise.
Tourist-wise.
And I think that's a good point as well, because lots of people have said to me, we've got young kids or we've got grandkids. Do you think there's something there for them? And I always say to them, half an hour you're on the beach, half an hour you're in ski resorts. How much more do kids need in their life? When you've got, if you want to do nightclubs and things like that, you have to go to Pescara and all the rest of it. But just looking at your photographs, there is so much to do in such, we're showing photographs of such a small part and obviously close to where you are as well. But there's loads to do, isn't there, in the area?
I think the farthest we drove was maybe an hour and 15 minutes.
Right.
That was it. We stayed in our region and we went.
Yeah, well, we went to Simona twice in one day.
Yeah.
Back,
it's no big deal, is it? You just do it.
It's really not a problem at all.
So this I saw on Facebook. You got up really early to go down to I keep saying, my wife keeps saying, we've got to do this, we've got to do and I keep saying yes. I'm a little bit of when I'm on holiday, I tend not to rise very early, but so you did it then. What time did you go down to the coastline?
Well, we woke up at 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to be there right as the sun was coming up. And I think by the time we left the house and we got to, this is Torino del Sangro, it must have been about 5:45 in the morning when we actually, because we had breakfast and got on the road.
Okay.
But boy, that was worth that early rise. Whew.
Yeah,
this just you can't put words to this when you're standing there watching the sun coming up over the Adriatic.
And then these trabocchi as well. I don't know if you've done that. Obviously, save something for later. But when you eat on these ancient fishing vessels, that's another fantastic experience as well.
Yeah.
So it definitely looks like you had a fun-packed time. Now I want to talk a little bit about this, because this is we'll finish off with all of this story, because you, Laurie, have got an Italian background. So do you want to tell people a little bit about that?
My maiden name is Celadonia, and I had my grandparents' naturalization papers, and I didn't realize this till after we bought the property, and one of my cousins gave it to me. And my grandmother was born in Valletta Brea, which is where I was standing, and at the other end of the lake was where my grandfather was born in Barea. Opposite. This is Barea, where my grandmother was born.
Yeah, Valletta Brea is at the end.
Valletta's at the other end. That's where my grandfather was born. And I knew that last year when I went, and it was just very touching to walk through it. This year, I would think we went back here 3 times. Obviously, again, we love the castles.
Yeah.
We walked. This was in Berea. We went through the castle here, and again for like €2 or €3, and you could spend all kinds of time exploring this.
So just so people understand, because I thought it was amazing the first time you told us this, but so you obviously loved Italy. You found our channel. You found a house. You remote bought the house. You'd never been here. Nothing was done. And then after all of that, you find out that your family came from 45 minutes up the road.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just crazy.
And so this year, when we went back, I decided I'm going to see if I can actually find some of my family members. And the name was changed from Celadonia, where it was Americanized. It's Celadonio. And so somebody last year said, try Valletta Berea. That name is very common there. So we went back there this year, and I went to the Comune's historian, and I walked into this office, and there's a man sitting behind a computer, and I had my translator, and I had the name of my grandfather, Lodovico Celadonio, and I had the year that he was born because it was on his naturalization papers. And so he got out, this man takes this giant ledger book, all handwritten. He plops it down on the table, and he's turning through the pages, and he gets to the year.
Just like in Harry Potter.
Yeah, it's like in Harry Potter, right? And he gets to 1892, which is the year I had. And he's like, no Lodovico. And I was like, well, he's got to be in there. I said, I'm showing him the name, Lodovico Celadonio. He goes, no Lodovico. So he tells me he's going to look back a year. So I found out they found him. He was actually born a year earlier than what the naturalization papers had. So then the man, it just chokes me up, because then the man tells me, he gives me the name of my grandfather. He has my 2 grandparents, my great-grandparents, their names. And then he goes through this list of my grandfather's 5 siblings when they were born, and all their names. I didn't know I had, my grandfather had a brother named Umberto, and I love that name, Umberto. and then he tells me, gave me the exact date, November 13th, 1922, when my grandfather married my grandmother, and the wedding was in Berea. I was like, I was stunned that I was able to find out all this information. So I wanted to go back to Berea to find out what I could about my grandmother, but you have to have an appointment. So I'm going to schedule that for next
time. What an amazing story. It's absolutely, it's fantastic. And the other thing, if I remember from the last show that you did with us, there was also another coincidence, if I remember, from a sign, was it, that you found in the village?
Yeah,
about that?
In Berea, one of the piazzas had Marianne Campana, and she had left. She had left Berea in early 1900s and went to immigrated to the United States, to a town in Ohio, Youngstown, Ohio, where I was raised. And she went to a nearby high school that I knew, and she went to the same college that I went to. And it's like, you come all this way across the world to Abruzzo, and you're standing there and you're reading, and it's in Italian, but you're reading about Youngstown, Ohio, and Marianne Campana. And she was one of the first female pilots, and she broke different records. And I was like,
and she went to the same school.
I mean, to go to the same college that I went to and grew up in the same city in Youngstown, or, Ohio. I was like, it's just, it really raises the hair on the back of your neck when you hear those types of things. And even this year, walking around Sulmona, I'm seeing signs with Celadonio on it. And I was like, oh my gosh.
A lot of names, that name on the markers of the buildings. Celadonio.
It's incredible. I just think it's amazing that I say that you buy somewhere just out of the blue like that, and the way sometimes life puts these things together is when they talk about destiny and things like that. There's got to be something in that, hasn't there? It is an absolutely incredible story and an emotional story as well. And but again, it must make you guys feel even more attracted to this place. So what's the story for the future? Are you going to move out here? What's the plan?
Well, yeah, we after being there this summer, coming back to the States was really difficult. It was really hard.
Yeah.
I'm just seeing my eyes are really open now that there's a lot here in the United States that I don't know, disturbing. I don't know. It's the way of life is just so different. It's a way of life we're ready for. The culture, the food, the lifestyle. We realize now we want to step up the process a little bit. Before we were thinking, 5 years down the road. Now we're probably thinking closer to 2, because we do have to sell our home. We have 6 classic cars that we have to sell our classic cars. They can't all go to Italy with us. We have one that we're probably going to bring. It's a small little one that would work. But we still have 2 children at home. They're young adults, but we want to make sure they're stable. And we left them home alone here, kind of test the waters while we were gone, and they did okay. They did all right for 2 boys, 18 and 20 years old. The cat was well fed and taken care of. The lawn got mowed, so once, but we really want to make sure they're more solid and on their feet before we completely, cut the ties. But yeah,
but the fact you've got the place now and you can go and visit, that's got to help. Help the yearning to be out here.
We just want to be there. That's just that. We just want to be there.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, you're a huge what's the word, inspiration for anybody that wants to take on this kind of thing. I mean, you've done everything. You've done the remote buying. You've done all the rest of it. A fantastic story to it all, and obviously you give great advertisements for Lama di Peligna, which is also fantastic. It's a brilliant place as well. So yeah, hopefully you're going to carry on enjoying the place, and hopefully next time you're out, we will see you. We keep saying that. I've said that for the last 2 times, but our life for some reason doesn't allow us to always get away, but I'm sure we will. I'm sure we will next time. But what can I say? Thank you so much for coming on and sharing with everybody again. I think it's a fantastic story. You're both brilliant people, and you're both, and I think it's brilliant as well that you've really got into the Italian way, and I think that it's more than just a holiday, isn't it? It's more than just. It's a lifestyle that I think is difficult, and I still feel the same being here after all these years, but it's a lifestyle that I think only until you've experienced it, especially in places like this, it's not your holiday, it's not your tourist holiday, it's not it's a whole bunch of other things that's far more important. And
we left. Saying goodbye to our neighbors, that was difficult. It was really hard. I started tearing up when I had to say goodbye to, it was hard. It was really hard. You make long lasting friendships that are genuine, and I just can't describe it. Folks, you got to come over. You just got to come over.
We have far more friends there in Lama than we do here, having lived here all our lives. It's quite remarkable, that you can build that kind of a relationship with people that you've only known really for a few months, and we have those kind of deeper relationships now there than we do here. Even we lived here in our village for 10 years in Leroy, but only have a handful of people that we even would call acquaintances. No real friends that we would go out and share time with. You're just so busy with everything, you never have time to develop those. But it's like people make time.
Yes.
And it's a very refreshing kind of an environment to be in.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much again for giving up so much time. I really, really appreciate it. And we'll see you again. We'll see you. You have to do another one of these in the future. And
absolutely.
And hopefully,
and again, it was if it hadn't been for you and Silvana, you guys are the ones that made this all possible.
Yeah.
We appreciate the level of professionalism and time that you put into making it all happen.
It's nice of you. It's very nice of you to say so, and it's only for people like you that that keeps us doing what we're doing. So thank you guys as well. Okay, before we start getting all emotional, thank you so much. We'll speak to you. I'll be in touch soon, no doubt. We'll see you. We'll see you again, hopefully on another one of these.
Prossimo in estate.
That's perfect. So we'll see you next summer. Thank you so much. All the best to both of you. Thank you.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Well, there you go, guys. What a brilliant couple. What an absolutely brilliant couple. I really enjoyed that, and I hope you guys did as well. We're going to try and do some more of these Meet the Home Buyers. Maria's saying, how are the renovations of the people that appeared to Meet the Home Buyers a long time ago? I think you owe us an update. The thing with the Meet the Home Buyers, we need to do it. We need to get people when they're available to do it, obviously with time differences and things like that. But I know the couple you mean, they're hoping, their plans slightly changed to be moving out here, but they are still going to be moving out here, and they've had to delay things due to things in America. But yeah, I think I probably will catch up with them. But it would be nice to get them and their photographs of their amazing restoration, which it really was. But yes, I will do that, and I will do. We'll get more Meet the Home Buyers on as soon as possible. And what I wanted to say as well, if my face has suddenly gone really white, that's because I'm looking at a different screen at the moment. Anybody that is interested in a property in Lama di Peligna, because I want to push this, because I pushed it a couple of times, this place, and nobody's taken a bite yet, and I'm not sure why not, because it's an absolutely amazing place. And so what I want to do is I want to get the reference number, because I want you to go onto our channel. I want you to have a look at it. The reference number is 725. Okay, so 725. It's in Lama di Peligna. It's a 3-bed property. It's got a garage. It's got 2 roof terraces. So not just one. It's got 2 roof terraces with amazing views from them. It really is a superb place. And I think that the only reason why nobody's taken a bite of it at this moment is possibly because of the kitchen, because there's a tiny little kitchen that's been tucked away in a room that could become a kitchen. But kitchens here are so amazingly cheap that it would take nothing to resolve this place. I mean, this is now just showing you the YouTube, but look for this property on our channel. Let me just go back just so you can see it is, hopefully people can see, it is the one that is, let me find it, the 79,950 one that is on there, 79,950. Have a look at that place, because that includes all the fees and taxes. It's a fantastic place, and you could be Lama, Laurie and John's neighbors, and we've sold a number of places in Lama, but I don't know why it's been sort of missed off the radar, but it certainly shouldn't be. It's a fantastic place. So yeah, please have a look at that. It's this one here, 79,950. That includes all fees and taxes, 3 beds, garage, 2 roof terraces, and all the rest of it. So I'm sorry to plug that one. I don't usually do that, but I thought I should do, because it's just an amazing place, and it's one of the very few that's left on our channel. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining us once again. Great to be back. Joking aside, I am still in holiday mode, and I would like to still be in holiday mode for a little bit longer, but it is also fantastic to be back, and I really look forward to meeting people on the September tour, and I look forward to these Tuesday sessions. I've not decided what we're doing yet for the rest of the month, but I will put a program on as soon as possible, and I really look forward to speaking to you again next Tuesday at the same time. Okay, folks, thank you so much. Take care, and we'll see you really soon.